Come on in, everyone. Come on in. My name is Deborah, and we are here to do a Married to Medicine reunion part 2 video recap, review, all that good stuff. And where's the beef? Where's the beef? Remember back in the day, any of my older ladies, we're not old and older, we more seasoned. Any of my more seasoned people remember this? I think it was Wendy's Burgers. Where's the beef? Where's the beef? I'm more like, what is the beef? What really is the beef between Sweet Tea and Heavenly? Because there really ain't no real beef. It's just the same old thing. Heavenly makes a whole storyline out of her beefs with people that she actually creates. But in the end, there really ain't no real beef. There really isn't. And I really do think that Heavenly does not like Sweet Tea. But you know what I think it is? It's not actually Sweet Tea that Heavenly doesn't like. It is the idea of Sweet Tea. It is who Sweet Tea represents. I think Heavenly has fallen into what a lot of older women sometimes fall into, and that is getting mad and resenting younger women when those younger women get with older men. Because it wasn't like Sweet Tea was a home wrecker. She didn't go in and wreck the home of Quad and Dr. G. But I think Sweet Tea triggers Heavenly. I think Heavenly is triggered by this idea of a younger woman getting with an older man, because I think it makes Heavenly insecure about that. I mean, I already told y'all before in my past videos, I know Heavenly's insecure. I do. I know there's a lot going on talking about, hey, Dr. Damon had an affair. Dr. Damon had an affair. I don't know. I'm kind of like Dr. G. I don't know what you do. I have no idea what you do. I do know that this season there has been a concerted effort for Heavenly to step up her game with her looks, her wigs, her body. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes when things go on in the background, it makes a woman get on her toes a little bit more. And I don't know. I have to say that it looks like Heavenly has been putting in a little bit more work in the beauty department and trying to young it up. She's been trying to young it up. Remember them dresses she was wearing that looked like they should be on Laura, what's her daughter's name? Laura. Instead of her, they look like they should have been on a woman's body the age of Sweet Tea or her daughter, but yet Heavenly was putting them on. I ain't gonna put it past nobody out here in these streets that Dr. G could have had an affair with a younger woman, and that's why Heavenly can't stand Sweet Tea, because it's not Sweet Tea. Sweet Tea hasn't done anything to Heavenly. Even all the stuff Sweet Tea is saying now, it was in retaliation to what Heavenly said. Maybe Sweet Tea's just triggered by the younger woman thing. I'm sorry. Maybe Heavenly is just triggered by the younger woman thing because maybe there was something going on with Dr. Damon. I don't know. Shoot. And talk about he eat Fruit Loops with Enfamil. Who ever heard of that? Fruit Loops and Enfamil. I have never heard of that trick. Has anybody else heard of that trick? Formula with Fruit Loops and cornflakes. Ugh, that don't sound good at all. But Dr. G sat up there and said, I don't know if you cheat, Dr. Damon. I mean, I don't know what you do. And then all the other cheater men, Curtis and Cecil, had to gang up on Dr. G till he admitted, yeah, I believe you. They darn near squeezed I believe you out of him. And Dr. G, like I told everybody before, he's the one that really want to be on this show. He's the one that really wants to be on this show. So I knew he was going to go along with it. I knew he was going to give up his position of I don't really know. And he went over there and left his wife hanging out there in the wind again, like he always does. He be leaving Sweet Tea uncovered, uncovered all the time. He leaves her uncovered all the time. And so finally he folded like a $2 bill and said, yeah, you're right. I believe you. Cause I don't want to be out the group again. I'm the one that wants to be on this show with all you men. That's why I got Sweet Tea on here. But I know who. Maybe Dr. Heavenly is pumping up her game. Shoot, we learned they had darn near had sex on the first date. Well, they didn't say they had sex, but shoot. Dr. Damon was talking about over there, they went behind the bleachers. They was behind the bleachers at the high school. And he said they had some pizza on their first date. And it looked like Heavenly gave it up over some pizza. Some pizza behind the bleachers at the high school. Okay, Dr. Heavenly. I tell you, Dr. Heavenly got some stories to tell, but it's unfortunate that she makes all the storylines about other people. It's really how she survived on this show. She never makes any of the storylines about her. her whole storyline is her beef with other people. And, I'm wondering what she's going to do on the off season, because typically what Heavenly does is she starts the beef in the off season so that when the season comes, she has a storyline. And now that they've choked off this YouTube channel for Dr. Heavenly, because that's typically where all her beefs come from. Even with Sweet Tea, it's about the social media. She typically starts her beefs in social media, and then she starts some in the off season. So that way, by the time they start filming, she actually has a storyline, and her storyline is the beef. Like I said, Heavenly is a smart woman. She's really smart. She's really conniving. She's been doing it for a long, long, long time. That's how she snagged Dr. Kimes. Now we know. We knew she trapped him with the pregnancy, but now we know she trapped him with sex on the first date. And he said, once I felt that body, she had me. I know Dr. Heavenly got a school to teach women how to make money. But let me tell you, Dr. Heavenly, women already know how to make money. Women are out here balling to the walls. They already know how to make money. But a lot of women want some advice on how to catch a doctor. How to snag a doctor. That's the school you ought to be teaching, Dr. Kimes. How to snag a doctor, because you have done it. You have done it well. And I know you got some real good techniques. So maybe now that you're behind that paywall with Patreon, maybe you can start you an after dark show about how to catch a doctor. I'm telling you, people will really sign up for that one. Because the proof is in the pudding. Dr. Heavenly, I'm telling you, she's really, really smart. She's manipulative. She couldn't be my friend. I could not be friends with Dr. Heavenly. But I can sit over here and still call her smart. I sure can. But the episode started off with, going back, Quad crying, telling Jackie, I would never do this to Jackie. I would never do this, with no tears coming down. Heavenly, didn't they have the Academy Awards the other night, or the Oscars, whatever they had? I didn't watch it, but I know it was on TV. Did Quad get an award? Did she get the Best Actress award? Because she needs one. She needs one. She knows she don't give a darn about these women. She said it right the first time. She don't like them. She don't care about them. But anyway, she was over there crying in fake crocodile tears for Dr. Jackie. And Dr. Jackie looked at her and said, I'd rather lose a friend than lose myself. We know that, Dr. Jackie. We know that you'd rather lose a lot of stuff before you lost yourself. Dr. Jackie, another one. She don't care about too many people. Did y'all see the little part where when they were all coming out their dressing rooms right before the men were going to get introduced, the husbands were going to introduce, and all the ladies and men, the men came over and kissed their wives on the lips. And then when Dr. Jackie saw Curtis in his dressing room, she went like this, toodles, toodles. Everybody else kissed on the lips or the cheek or something, embraced their wives. They hadn't seen their wives. How did it go? How was your first session? Because they had different call times. But when Jackie saw Curtis, she was like, toodles. And then what about that shade that Andy Cohen threw at Curtis? Oh, what you do, fly in from the DR? Everybody know Curtis got a whole family in the DR. It's not a secret. Curtis has a whole family in the DR. We know it. We know it. That's why Curtis is over there protecting Dr. Damon, telling Dr. G, don't be calling nobody no cheater, and you need to stand up for us. Because we all cheaters. Cecil, Curtis, everyone. The only one that ain't a cheater is Dr. Eugene, because he's too busy running around talking about me and Toya are equal. Equal with Toya? I ain't even equal with Toya. And I'm a woman. I'm above Toya. I ain't even equal with Toya, and I'm a full-on woman, Dr. Eugene. How you going to be equal with Toya? Toya, I'm above you. I'm going to say it right now. I'm above you, because I'm actually with Dr. Heavenly on this. Toya is a lady of leisure. That's okay. That's fine. Just own it, Toya. Own it, own it, own it. And she does have a laziness. She don't have no really get up and go and spark to her, but that's okay, because Toya has worked her system too. And she got Dr. Eugene over there waiting on her hand and foot. And now she's grooming these boys to wait on her hand and foot. Y'all ever watch the episodes with Toya? And you always notice how her son is in the kitchen cooking. Talking about my eggs are better than my daddy's eggs. Toya is grooming her sons to be a Eugene out there in the street. I'm glad she's teaching them how to cook, but I sure would like to see a scene where Toya's cooking. I like the fact that she's teaching her young sons how to cook, but she got all them men in that house waiting hand and foot on her. She basically said, like, whose parenting style do you like the best? They were talking about parenting styles. And Toya said, well, Eugene has his. I got mine. Simone was saying Cecil got his. And Toya said, I'm going to be the home girl. I'm the home girl. I'm going to teach my boys about sex. I'm going to teach them about these streets. She said, I'm going to be the friend. She got her own style. She goes, her kids are a blend between her and Eugene. So I wonder which one got the responsible gene of Eugene versus Toya. Because if one of them sons want to be a Toya, that means lazy and out here like doing nothing with no get up and go. A lot of women gonna be mad because they're gonna come on the market and they ain't gonna be no protector provider because they're gonna be like their mama. Maybe it's the older one because that younger one seemed like he the one in the kitchen cooking all the time. Maybe it's going to be in the older one. I don't know. But the boys are sweet. And you know what? Kids are a blend of both parents. They really are a blend of both parents. But Kevin didn't really tell no lies about Toya and her style. She is a woman of leisure. She really don't have no get up and go. She don't think through no business ideas. That's why most of them, they either flop or they really don't go anywhere because she's lazy in her thinking. And to be an entrepreneur, you can't be lazy. People think entrepreneurs is the lesser of working a job or something. No, it ain't. Shoot. Entrepreneurs be working hard. I tell you about it, hard. Let me tell you, I went back to work because I wanted to work less. I'm telling you, I left entrepreneurship. I was in it for a long time. I left last year and went back to work because I didn't want to work as hard as I had to work being an entrepreneur. It used to be better. It used to be better back in the day. When I first left corporate America to be an entrepreneur, I left because corporate America was a grind. And I was like, oh, this is too much work. And so I left and did entrepreneurship. It was a much better balance in life with, my life, family, everything like that. But then it's done flipped because, all the millennials and, Gen Zers came in and they told these corporations, we ain't working this hard. And so, I said, well, shoot, we still working in the entrepreneur world. And they said, corporate America, they ain't working as hard no more. So I was like, well, shoot, let me go back to corporate America. And I sure did. I went back and I'm doing a quarter of the work I was doing when I left 15 years ago. A quarter of the work. I done hit the jackpot. Like I say, thank you, Gen Z. Thank you, millennials. I appreciate y'all all the time. But what else went on in this episode? They were still talking about Quad, and Quad still was in the... for Quad to have only been on the show for 4 episodes, they sure done stretched out her part. She's still sitting on the couch. That told me something. Quad is still sitting on the couch, even in Reunion Part 2, talking about Quad. And Quad was only on the show for 4 episodes. And they just now brought Dr. Alicia in. So Dr. Alicia, who's supposed to be a regular, had to wait to come on the set. And Quad is still on the set, but yes, she only filmed 4 episodes. What would have happened if Quad filmed all 12 episodes? Would the whole reunion be about Quad? Good Lord. I heard they said Quad, they were negotiating new contracts and Quad is coming back. I know she is. I know Quad is coming back. So these ladies decided on this Reunion Part 2 that they were going to finally accept Quad's apology. Right before, they had all these caveats. Well, it wasn't an apology. It wasn't a good apology. The apology wasn't sincere. The apology wasn't in depth. The apology wasn't this. They had all these reasons they didn't want to accept the apology. Then they got Quad out to Napa Valley and they said, we decided we don't want you to be part of the group anymore. But the producers of Married to Medicine said, not so fast. We the ones that write these damn checks, not you ladies. That's what the producer said. You can kick Quad out of Napa Valley if you want to. But we're the ones who write these checks and we want Quad on the show because we done spent a whole episode 1, Reunion Part 1, and at least the first quarter of Reunion Part 2 talking about Quad. So if we don't have Quad on here for a storyline, what we gonna have? Dr. Heavenly's beef with everybody? Where's the beef? No. So I think these ladies finally realized, you know what? We kicked her out of Napa, but here she is. She's still standing. She's still sitting on the couch for not one part of the reunion, but 2 parts of the reunion. So who's having the final say? It sounds like the producers are having the final say. It sounds like Bravo producers and executive team is finally standing up to these women who want to take over shows and not film with people and decide. I know there's going to be a shake up in Real Housewives of Potomac. I know it is. I know it's going to be a shake up because Robin and Giselle went off and had a podcast, and then they were spilling tea on the podcast. Remember about Robin's husband? They spilled that on the podcast and not on the show. Okay. And I bet you, is that show even still on? What was it called? Shady, but something shady or reasonable or something like that. Is it even still on, or did it go out of business? Did the podcast go out of business? Because if it didn't go out of business, then more than likely they're going to shut it down for next season. And those ladies better be on guard that I don't think Bravo's going to go anymore for this, people trying to decide who they're not going to film with. And so it sounds like Dr. Simone and Dr. Jackie have decided, you know what, Quad, maybe we ought to squash the beef. You just kicked her out of Simone, you just kicked her out of the whole Napa Valley, told her you don't want to be friends with her because Quad don't return no texts or no phone calls. I ain't saying that Quad don't deserve some of the heat she getting from the ladies, but what I'm saying is the ladies shouldn't be in charge of the show. That's what I'm saying. Okay, the ladies shouldn't be in charge on who's on the show. They can be in charge if they want to tell Quad they don't like her, but kicking her off a show, firing people. How can you fire a person when you ain't the one that pays them? How can you fire a person and you ain't even the one that pays them? That's some balls. That is some balls. But they said they're going to squash it. So we'll see what happens next season. I already heard they're getting contracts and stuff. So she's going to be back. She is going to be back. But what else was going on? Letitia had her surgery. She had her fibroid removal surgery. I think she said she removed some cysts. She said technically she is not infertile because you can't be infertile till you've been trying for at least a year. Then after that, if she ain't got no baby, she can move on to maybe she can move on to the other options she got, in vitro fertilization, surrogate, whatever she need to do. She gonna have that baby. She gonna have that. Ain't no doubt that Letitia gonna have that baby. It just may not happen the way she may originally plan for it, but maybe it will. I don't know. And then Dr. Jackie came on in and let everybody know that endometriosis, you can only diagnose it through surgery, and sometimes women don't know for up to 10 years that they actually have it. That's what she's saying. Well, why didn't you take up for her during the season when everybody was calling her infertile and talking about how she can have no baby? Where were you then, Dr. Jackie? Why didn't you take up for her before all the pain and hurt got inflicted on her during the season? Because like Dr. said, I'd rather lose a friend than to lose myself. Dr. Jackie said, I couldn't come to your rescue, sweet tea, because I'd rather lose you as a friend than to lose myself. Basically, I'm going to take care of me first before I take care of you. Woo, woo, woo. But then, next thing you know, Quad and Sweet Tea are going back and forth. I gotta hang with Sweet Tea on this. Quad, it ain't a good look, Quad. Quad, it is not a good look of you talking about Sweet Tea. She needs to stay away from it because it looks bad on you, Quad. You look like the bitter ex-wife, and I know you're really not bitter. That's the thing. We really know Quad don't care that Sweet Tea is with Dr. G. But the problem is Quad will use it as a moment, and it makes her look bad. And I'm thinking, you got to get some other moments, Quad, because it doesn't look good you actually beefing with Sweet Tea. In fact, Quad, the better storyline would be you actually befriending Sweet Tea. That would actually make you look good, okay, where you actually befriend Sweet Tea, because there's a lot of relationships whereby the new wife becomes friends with the ex-wife, and the ex-wife actually helps the new wife. You've seen it before. Typically, sometimes there's kids involved or whatever else, so it makes the ex-wife and the new wife, they do have to communicate because maybe there's kids involved. But you often find times where that new wife benefits from that old wife telling some things. So instead of Sweet Tea going over here and spilling her secrets to Heavenly and telling Heavenly that Dr. G is controlling. Maybe she should have been asking Quad for some advice, since Quad was the one in the situation, because we already know Heavenly over there was only going to use it for her bad. Quad, next season, if you're listening to me, you need to flip the script, and you need to go from being the person who is ganging up and also attacking Sweet Tea, or even saying any snide remarks about Sweet Tea, to actually being the woman who helped Sweet Tea have a successful marriage with Dr. G, one that you couldn't have. And if you do that, Quad, you will look good in other people's eyes. But right now, Quad, it don't look good. It don't look good. And for Sweet Tea, girl, if Quad keep doing it, your best bet is going to be to ignore her. That's going to be not to get in no beef with her. When she says it, let her say it. Let her say it, but don't get in no big beef with her, because if you get in a beef with her, then that starts to make you look kind of crazy too. But if you let Quad sit out there on the ledge all by herself, saying stuff about you, she will look bad all by herself. You actually don't have to do nothing to make her look bad. You really don't. Because that move, I'm telling you, is a bad move by Quad. And if she keeps doing it, she's just going to continue to look bad. And Sweet Tea, you don't have to do nothing, but just take a page from Dr. Jackie. When Dr. Jackie says, I'd rather lose a friend than to lose myself, that's what you do, Sweet Tea. Lose a friend in Quad, but don't lose yourself. Sit on over there. Sit on over there. But there ain't gonna be nothing you can do about Heavenly, because like I said, Heavenly is triggered. She's over here calling Dr. G old as dirt, and yet she's only 2 years younger. She called him old as dirt, and she only 2 years younger. Heavenly just gonna continually come at a Sweet Tea, because that's her storyline, and Heavenly's storyline is coming after people. So more than likely next season, they're going to actually come after Dr. Alicia. You can already see it coming, the way they got on Dr. Alicia this episode for what Dr. Kimba is saying. Actually, Dr. Kimba is more of the interesting character than Dr. Alicia. He be saying some wild things. He got his own storyline. Dr. Kimba is the storyline, and Alicia's storyline is her husband. It's almost kind of like how on Real Housewives of Potomac, it was like Ashley and Michael Darby. Y'all watch Potomac right now. Ashley ain't got no storyline. She ain't got one at all. The only storyline Ashley ever had was Michael Darby. And now that Michael Darby isn't on the show, Ashley don't have no storyline except twerking and shaking her booty. She don't have no storyline, because really the only interesting thing about Ashley was Michael Darby. I mean, I know she has some family stuff going on. We used to watch her family dynamics. She gonna need to bring back something, because right now she ain't got nothing going on in Potomac. And right now, Dr. Ashley's storyline is her husband, Kimba, talking about what Kimba said. But I'm with Kimba. Listen, I don't believe people should tell people how to run their marriages when those two people in the marriage are happy. Now, if Alicia was running around saying she's upset about being called trained, and she's upset about this, and she's upset about that, then I would see that it was important for the men to pull Dr. Kimba aside and say, hey, let me help you navigate your marriage, because your wife is clearly upset. Okay. And then I could also see the ladies ganging up on Kimba, or even a Dr. Alicia, if either one of them were actually confessing that they're really having problems in their marriage to that extent. But both Dr. Kimba and Alicia have decided that whatever they do, however they speak to each other, whatever rules they have in their marriage, it works for them. So I don't really understand why all these people are trying to come and turn Dr. Kimba and Alicia's marriage into their marriages. I just don't get it. Leave them alone. If they start to have problems and they start to need some advice, then you can open up your mouth. But to start to tell people who have said they're happy with the arrangement, they're happy with the hierarchy. Dr. Kimba said it should be a 51-49. Plus, what woman always wants to make all the decisions? I don't understand why women think that all women want to always be 50-50 in all decisions. They really don't. They really don't. Not everybody in every marriage always wants to be the one making all decisions. Sometimes it can be exhausting, Oftentimes I tell my husband, I don't want to make no decision. You go ahead and make it. I don't want to think about it. I don't care. Whatever you decide, I'll go along with it. Now there's something I'm really passionate about, something big or whatever. Yeah, maybe let's start talking to that. But does a woman always want to be 50-50 in relationships? Hell no. Dr. Alicia said he's providing, he's paying all the bills. I done stole this $150,000. I done put it in an account in my name only in an offshore bank account in a safe deposit box somewhere, just in case he gets crunk and crazy. I'm good. And if he wants to make all the decisions, I'm fine. I sit over here and take care of my kids. Leave her alone. We've seen what Toya having a say in decisions has cost them. Good Lord. Leave them alone. But you can already tell that this is going to be a storyline next year. They all going to keep coming for Kimba, Dr. Kimba, and Alicia, all over they 5149. And I agree with Dr. Kimba that when he was saying women are running things, I don't think he was talking about in the general world. Don't be trying to create a moment. Don't be trying to get Dr. Kimba canceled out here in these streets. I don't think he was talking about women in the general world. I think he was talking about in the marital relationship. He was talking about it then. So if you want to call him chauvinistic or whatever within his marriage, go ahead. That's fine, because he was laying out what he thinks. But to try to expand it, Eugene kind of get on my nerves. He really does get on my nerves because he goes above and beyond on being who he is. He's so self-conscious about how he's on equal footing with Toya. And in fact, Dr. Eugene, let me tell you, you're not even on equal footing with Toya. In your house, Toya is over you. Let me be real. Toya is over you in your own house. And because that's the way it goes in your house, you want to make everybody like you. And if they're not like you, you want to talk about them. Before we used to feel sorry for Eugene, or at least I did, the way Toya runs over him. I used to feel sorry about him. But now I'm not going to start feeling sorry for Eugene, because what I see Eugene doing is now he's going to start coming over here trying to correct Kimber or any other man to try to make them like him, trying to turn him out to be like another Eugene up in the house. Eugene, stay over there, because you're about to lose my empathy and my sympathy. Because before I used to feel sorry for you with Toya, but pretty soon I don't like when people be meddling other people's marriages. If that marriage is working with them for them, leave them alone. Leave them alone. Because Eugene, you ain't listening to nobody about your marriage. So why are you going to go over here and tell him about his? Leave him alone. Until Dr. Alicia starts chiming up or Dr. Kimber starts chiming up, don't be trying to convert people. There ain't one size fits all when it comes to marriage. Marriage people got to find their own way. You can give them ideas and suggestions, but after they tell you we don't want your idea and we don't want your suggestion, we doing just fine, you need to exit stage left and get out the way. But I did see the part where when they were beefing, Sweet Tea and Heavenly said that she's in therapy now. Good for her. And she said, thank you, Sweet Tea, for opening up a door for me and my sister, because then we bonded over the fact that you said my mama's going to hell or my mama is in hell. And me and my sister bonded over that. So now we texting and we communicating. Well, look at God. There you go. Look at God. Something good came out of it. I'm happy about that. And then Dr. G did clear up that Phaedra absolutely asked him for $4,000. I believe it. I believe the story. The way he told the story when Phaedra said, "I'm only going to be with a man that can do for me what I can do for myself." She said that. A lot of women say it, so I know she said it. And then he said, "Well, what do you do for yourself?" And she said about $4,000. I believe that's exactly how the conversation went. And Dr. G said, "I ain't got $4,000. I haven't even redecorated the house since my last ex-wife left. You think I got $4,000 to give you every month? No, I don't think so." And that was that. But I don't know. I think it was tacky for Dr. G to keep bringing up, how he really wanted to be with Phaedra. I don't know what else he could have said, because otherwise he would have had to lie about it, because it really did happen. But hopefully he'll stop talking about it and making Sweet Tea feel awkward. He over there talking about not in real life, nothing happened. Real life, in your wet dreams. Dr. G, he kind of weird. He kind of weird with some of the things that come out his mouth. But Curtis over there talking about, yeah, we've all had indiscretions and everything. And, but we're in a good place now. I know you're in a good place. It's called the Dominican Republic. Punta Cana. That's the good place Dr. Curtis in. Can't nobody tell me Curtis and Dr. Jackie have any kind of nothing. Like I said, she walked past him, was like, toodles. Zero contact. Zero contact. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to talk about for reunion part 2. I guess it's a part 3. So I guess I'll see y'all back for part 3. That's it, y'all. I will talk to you later. Bye. Oh, no, maybe I should say toodles.